Pastor Jeff here, and I want to share something positive with you in this week's installment of Wednesday Encouragement. The positive thing that I would like to share is I still believe it is possible to agree to disagree. It's Inauguration Day for the President of the United States here in America, and this country seems more divided maybe than any other time since the Civil War. I've literally had conversations with people whose families have been divided over political differences, even vows of never speaking to one another again. In Romans chapter 14, Paul is having a conversation with the church in Rome. Paul warns the church in Romans to not quarrel about disputed matters. They're having a disagreement rather, over which foods are permissible to eat and which aren't, and whether or not one day is sacred or all days are sacred. There are two key conclusions that Paul comes to in Romans chapter 14, and I believe they're found in verses 13 and 19. Verse 13 says, "Therefore, let us stop passing judgment on one another. Instead, make up your mind not to put any stumbling block or obstacle in the way of a brother or sister." And then down in verse 19, "Let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace and to mutual edification." I sum up Paul's words by saying, it is possible to agree to disagree. He is saying to the church, when we continue to argue over disputed matters, we become a stumbling block to our brother or sister in their relationship with God. Instead, we should be about peace and edifying one another. In sports, I follow all New York-based teams, the Giants, the Mets, the Rangers, and the Knicks. But I have friends, close friends even, that follow teams from Philadelphia. And there's a deep-rooted rivalry between those two areas. I bring sports up not to be trivial about the bigger things at play, but sometimes when you start small, you can begin to see your brothers and sisters as your brothers and sisters over everything else. Similarly, this past Sunday, the Buffalo Bills were playing the Baltimore Ravens. During the game, Lamar Jackson, the quarterback from the Ravens, went out with a concussion. The fans from the opposing team, the Bills, started raising money in Lamar's name to one of Lamar's favorite charities. To date, they've raised over $360,000. Both teams wanted to win that game, but at the end of the day, people matter more than the win. Paul was saying to the church in Romans, don't let your need to be right stand in the way of a healthy relationship with your brothers and sisters in Christ. I think if he had an opportunity to speak to the church of today, he would say, let's choose people over politics. I'm not naive to our reality. I'm hopeful for our future. It's possible to still agree to disagree. Let's try it. Go in peace.